Hello everyone. I am giving away $1,000 to the first person or team of people who can complete my Pokemon Red challenge. And I'll throw in an extra $600 if you complete it on an actual cartridge. This is the Gotta Use 'Em All challenge. Now, I've actually hosted a $1,000 bounty challenge before several years ago for Ocarina of Time. It was solved by a team of 2 and I paid them $1,000 as promised. My motivation for that challenge was to inspire creativity in the Ocarina of Time community, which I felt was lacking at the time. I can't say for sure how much I helped, but about a year later, the first OOT randomizer was made, and several OOT ROM hacks were in the works. And the rest is history. So, inspiration was my motivation for that bounty challenge, but what about this one? Simple. Revenge. You see, that team of 2 solved and completed my challenge in under 2 days, and that just wasn't enough time to build up hype and reach a wider audience. It wasn't enough time for me to fully enjoy the thrill of the challenge. This one is much harder than that. Not only that, but I also need to set the Pokemon history books straight. I'm mostly known for Animal Crossing and OOTVR, but I happen to have a long history with Pokemon challenges. You see, I created the original Professor Oak challenge years before it went by that name. I was younger then and less creative with my challenge names, but I was the first person to come up with and document the novel idea of collecting every possible Pokemon before advancing the game by defeating the next gym. Not only did I come up with this challenge, I also completed it for Pokemon Yellow, Crystal, and half of Emerald until my battery died. Now I do agree that Professor Oak challenge is a good name, and there's no reason to change that, but let it be known that I was the first to come up with the idea, and you can find my past videos on it way back on my YouTube channel. So now that you know the motivation for this bounty challenge, let's get into the rules. First off, you will have 6 months from now until July 1st, 2023 to solve and complete my challenge, after which the bounty will be off. The goal is to max your Pokedex and Living Dex in Pokemon Red alone. This amounts to 146 Pokemon seen, 124 Pokemon owned, and 120 unique Pokemon, all stored in your PC boxes. There are 6 rules which you must follow that I describe in more detail later in the video. 1. You can only use 1 Pokemon per battle. 2. If at any time your Pokemon faints, excluding from the first rival battle, or if you release a Pokemon, or a Pokemon gains experience points in any way, that entire Pokemon species is considered retired and can never lead in a battle or use field moves ever again. 3. You cannot play the slot machines if you currently own over 3,000 coins. 4. You cannot buy items that cost over 300 Pokemoney until you own 116 or more Pokemon in your Pokedex. 5. Each time you leave a Pokemon at the daycare center, you must first release 16 non-retired Pokemon. Then, to take the Pokemon back, you must first release 1 non-retired Pokemon for every 100 Pokemoney it costs to take the Pokemon back. 6. You can only use 1 Pokemon Red game file. You cannot use any external means of changing your game or save file, and you cannot use glitches following the official Pokemon Red speedrunning glitchless rule set, which can be found in the description of this video. This challenge is to be completed entirely in real time by hand using a clean Pokemon Red game file, whether that's a classic Nintendo Game Boy cartridge or a ROM. The use of any cheats, mods, backed up save files, or save states is not allowed. Resetting during gameplay is allowed though. Finally, speed-ups may be used up to 4 times normal speed, whether that's through Pokemon Stadium 2's Game Boy Tower Dodrio mode or a Game Boy emulator. And Pokemon Stadium 2 does count as Nintendo official hardware for the bonus $600 in addition to the $1,000 bounty. And that's it. That's the challenge. In order to be eligible to complete the challenge, you must provide me unedited video proof, start to finish, of every moment of the entire challenge to ensure no rules were broken. The first person to send me video proof successfully completing the challenge will be declared the winner and will be paid out accordingly. And if no one claims the bounty by July 1st, 2023, I will personally complete the challenge myself on an actual cartridge live on stream. Also, in case you're wondering, I have already solved and completed this challenge in real time before, and can confirm it's reasonably possible for a human to complete with meticulous planning and patience. If you have any questions or want to share your thoughts on the challenge, feel free to do so in the comments below, or join my Discord. The link can be found in the description. Now I will go into the details of the rules. The The challenge is only completed after the Pokedex and Living Dex have been maxed. You must be able to view your Pokedex and show you have 146 Pokemon seen and 124 Pokemon owned. You must also have all 120 unique Pokemon deposited in your PC box at the same time, regardless if they are retired or have battled or not. Now, what exactly is considered a battle? A battle is defined as any situation where your Pokemon is active on the battle screen regardless of the action they take. Therefore, retired Pokemon may never even encounter wild Pokemon since that occurs on the battle screen, even if their only action is running away. If this happens, you may reset before saving your game to undo breaking the rules. This applies for breaking any rules. However, if you save your game after breaking a rule, no matter what, there is no undoing it and you must completely start over from a new game. So be sure to follow the rules carefully. Next, a Pokemon is only considered retired after a battle concludes in which it gained experience or fainted. Additionally, if your Pokemon gains enough experience to evolve after a battle, the evolved Pokemon is of course a different species and is not considered retired, unless of course that species was already retired beforehand. Retired Pokemon cannot lead in battle or use field moves ever, but they still can gain experience through other means, such as Experience All, the Daycare Center, or rare candies. And it should be noted that rare candies do count towards giving experience because leveling up does increase the amount of experience a Pokemon has. As for field moves, using a field move is defined as selecting a field move in the menu screen. So if a Pokemon gains experience while it's actively surfing or using strength, it may continue to use that ability as long as its field move is never selected again from the menu screen. And as for the glitchless rule set, make sure you thoroughly read what the Pokemon Red speedrunning community considers a glitch in the Google spreadsheet link I provide in the description of this video. If the community ever changes the rules in the future, the spreadsheet I provide will govern for this challenge. And finally, as I mentioned in the rules, you can only play with one Pokemon Red game file. That means you cannot affect your game by any means from any outside source or any method of affecting your game outside of what can be done naturally within one Pokemon Red game file alone. Alright, that should cover it for the details of the rules. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions about them. If you decide to take on this challenge, best of luck, and I offer you this parting advice. When all hope seems lost, think outside the box and try again tomorrow. Thank you for watching and enjoy the challenge.